Hello everyone. Today we are discussing about microprocessor and microcontroller. So after completing this lesson, the students can be able to tell that what is a microprocessor, what is a microcontroller, and what are the applications of the both, and what are the differences between microprocessor and microcontroller. So whenever we are hearing the term such as microprocessor, automatically the microcontroller term can be comes into our brain. First of all, these two microprocessor and microcontrollers are designed for the real-time applications, and they have some common features, and at the same time they have the differences. And both the controllers and the processors will become in the form of integrated circuits. So shortly we can tell that in the form of ICs. But by seeing the ICs, we can differentiate that whether it is a microprocessor and microcontroller. And these ICs are available from 6 pins to 80 to 100 pins. So whereas the pins are used to connect the external components. So first, initially we'll see that what is a microprocessor. So already I tell that microprocessor is nothing but it is an IC. So microprocessor is an IC which has the CPU inside. And once again, I'm repeating, the microprocessor is nothing but it contains only the CPU, but it doesn't have any another peripherals like the memory units such as RAM, ROM, timers, counters, input devices, output devices. So only it contains CPU. And already in the previous semesters, you know that what is CPU? CPU is nothing but a central processing unit. So it is the unit which is responsible for processing. So the term processing refers to that calculations or the operations. So CPU is nothing but it is a unit which performs the calculations or which executes the program or which performs some operations. So we can tell that microprocessor is nothing but it is a CPU mainly intended for calculations. Next, the next point is whenever you are using this microprocessor, compulsory you have to add all these memory units, timers and the counters or the input and output devices to make this CPU as a functional. So that means whenever you are using the microprocessor, compulsory you have to connect all these external peripherals. So until then, the CPU will not perform any operations. Just it can be acted as a dump component. Right. Next one is where we can use this microprocessors. So these microprocessors are used in general purpose systems such as desktops, PCs or laptops or notepads. So if you observe, all these applications are used for general purpose. So here the meaning of general purpose is the same components can be used for several number of applications or several number of operations. So all these desktop PCs, laptops are used in mainly intended for to perform some more number of calculations or the operations. Now we'll see the block diagram of this microprocessor. So as already I told that the microprocessor is nothing but it is just a CPU. So CPU is nothing but which is used to perform the operations. So to perform the operations, we require one hardware component that is nothing but ALU. So the microprocessor contains the components such as ALU. And whenever you are dealing with the ALU to perform some operations, always the inputs and the outputs can be stored in the registers, and these are nothing but the registers. So we can tell that the microprocessor contains some set of registers. So these are the general purpose registers, and these are the special purpose registers, and along with that it also contains one clock circuit which provides the speed, or which provides the clock signals to perform all the operations related to these registers and the ALU, and it also contains interrupt circuits. So if you observe, all these components are nothing but the components of your CPU. So we can say that the microprocessor is nothing but it is an IC which contains the CPU. Next, we will see the term that is microcontroller. So the microcontroller, so the name itself, it is telling that it is mainly used for controlling operations, not for the processing. So even though we are performing some calculations, but always we are less concentrating on the calculations. Mainly we are concentrating on the controlling of the devices. But coming to the microprocessors, the term itself, it is telling that uh, those components are used mainly for the calculations. But here the microcontrollers are mainly used for controlling the components. So if coming to this microcontroller, it has a CPU, but in addition to this CPU, it contains some amount of RAM, ROM, and other facilities where we can connect the input and output devices. And remember that all these components will be comes in a single IC, that is single integrated chip, and that integrated chip we can refer it as microcontroller. So we can tell that most of the times we can consider this microcontroller as a mini computer on a single chip. And coming to the application side, these microcontrollers are mainly used for the embedded systems. So whereas the embedded systems are used for specific purpose or specific applications like our washing machines, microwave ovens, refrigerators, all those components can use this microcontroller. So whereas we are performing less number of calculations and more concentration is done on the controlling the devices. And there are so many companies which are manufacturing these microcontrollers. And some of the names of the companies are Atmel, Microchip, Texas Instruments, Freescale, Philips, Motorola. So many companies are there. Next, we'll see that the block diagram of microcontroller. So if you observe the microprocessor, we know that it is a CPU which contains ALU, some set of registers, clock circuit and interrupt circuit. And coming to the microcontroller, it contains all the components which are there in the CPU. Along with those components, it also contains internal read-only memory, internal random access memory, and some IO ports and timer and counter. Right. So just observe the difference between the microprocessor and microcontrollers. So whatever the components are there in the microprocessor, all those components are presented in this microcontroller, but along with that, even it may contain some internal random access memory, internal ROM and IO ports and timers or counters. So just by remembering or understanding these particular block diagrams and the definitions, we can analyze or we can write down the differences between microprocessors and microcontrollers. And so, as a first point, we know that it is just a processor where this memory and IO components must be connected externally. But coming to the microcontroller, all these components can be comes along with the CPU, or all these components are presented inside a single IC. And the next difference is, since it contains only the processor, it is referred as CPU on chip. But here coming to the microcontrollers, it contains a processor as well as the memories and IO ports. So it can be called as computer on chip. And the next difference is, so here the memory and IO devices are connected externally, the circuits can become large. But here It has the internal memory and it has the I/O ports, so the circuit can become small. Next, based on these differences, we can tell that these microprocessors are not suitable to design these compact systems, but the microcontrollers can be used in the compact systems. The next one is because of connecting or because of using these external components, automatically the cost of the system will be increased. So by using a single microprocessor, we can't perform any operations. Compulsory, you require the memories, you require I/O ports, you require timers and counters additionally. So automatically by buying all those components, the cost of the system will be increased. But here in the microcontrollers, all are coming along with the IC, so the cost of the system can be low. Next difference is due to these external components, the power consumption is more. But coming to the microcontrollers, all are the internal components, automatically the total power consumption is very less. And the next difference is when coming to this access time. Access time is nothing but how the data can be transferred from the memory to the processor for the execution. Since the memory is a separate unit and I/O devices or the CPU is a separate unit, so automatically it requires more access time to transfer the data from the memory to the processor. But here both the memory and the CPU are the internal components, so it requires less access time. And so here, because of the external components, this microprocessor based system will increases the PCB size, printed circuit board size. But because of these internal components, it requires the less number of hardware automatically, which reduces the PCB size. But coming to the design point of view, the microprocessors are flexible. So that means when you are designing a project, whatever the amount of the memory you require, that amount of the memory you can connect to your particular project or the design. But here the memory comes along with the microcontroller, so you don't have the choice to select the size of your memory. So we can say that it is somewhat less flexible when compared to this microprocessor. Since all the components are external, will require most amount of the time to transfer the data in between two separate units. So automatically the operations can be executed in the slower period. But coming to this, all the components are the internal components, so automatically the speed can be more. Next, coming to the internal architecture, the microprocessor contains less number of registers. So because of this particular feature, more of the operations must be done based on the memories. So remember that whenever there is a term called memory operations or the memory transfers, automatically the programming can be difficult and it requires more amount of time to execute that particular instructions. So coming to the microcontrollers, it contains more number of registers, so it takes less amount of time for the execution, as well as it is very easy to write the program. And already I told that the microprocessors are used for the general purpose systems like the personal computers, but these microcontrollers are used for the specific purpose applications such as embedding systems like washing machines, MP3 players, and etc. In the next class, we'll see one microcontroller architecture, that is Atmega 328P architecture. Thanks for listening.